Once upon a time in a town filled with regular kids, there lived a little girl named Fancy Nancy. Now, Nancy was not your ordinary girl. Oh, no, not her. While other kids played hopscotch and jump rope, Nancy twirled and danced in her sparkly tiaras and practiced saying elegant words. For Nancy, life was simply too ordinary to be lived in an ordinary way. It needed sparkle, shine, and a whole lot of fanciness. She dreamed of being an internationally acclaimed ballerina, an adventurous archaeologist, and a famous chef who made exquisite French toast, all while wearing the fanciest outfits she could find. Nancy loved everything fancy, from tiaras to tutus, from candelabras to chandeliers, from ribbons to ruffles. She wanted it all. And she especially loved words. Oh, how she loved words that were longer and fancier than the everyday words that other kids used. Instead of calling something pretty, she would say it was exquisite. Instead of good, she would say superb. To Nancy, every day was an opportunity to sprinkle a little extra magic and fanciness into the lives of everyone around her. One day, Nancy decided that her family was missing the magic touch. They were simply too plain, she declared, and so she took matters into her own hands. She got to work on a fabulous makeover for the whole family. Her dad, who usually wore boring old shirts, got a stylish new bow tie. Her mom, who always wore practical dresses, got a pair of glittery shoes. Her little brother, well, he got a snazzy top hat to match her own. And even their dog Sparky got a pink bow to wear around his neck. After the makeover, the family looked so posh and elegant. Nancy beamed with pride. She was the queen of the fanciest family in the whole wide world, or at least in their little corner of it. Then it was time for dessert. Nancy, who had been helping in the kitchen, had gotten a little carried away and was wearing a brand new dress that she had saved for a very special occasion. It was a magnificent, shimmery, twirly dress that made her feel like a real-life princess. But alas, just as Nancy reached for her chocolate mousse, disaster struck. She tripped over Sparky, who was trying to sneak in a lick of whipped cream, and sent her dessert flying through the air. The chocolate landed splat on her fancy new dress, turning her glamorous look into a messy chocolate disaster. "Oh, dear, oh, my," cried Nancy, her voice trembling. "What will I do?" Her family rushed to help, but there was no saving the dress. It was ruined beyond repair. Tears welled up in Nancy's eyes. All she could do was watch as her brother, ever the practical one, suggested changing into something else. But Nancy couldn't bear the thought of missing out on the family photo in her magnificent dress. Just then, her mom stepped in. She pulled Nancy into a tight hug and said, "Oh, sweetheart, it's just a dress." But Nancy knew it wasn't just a dress. It was a symbol of her special day, of her family, and of the fun they had shared. And then something amazing happened. Her dad, who was usually so serious, broke into a jig. Her mom twirled around in her glittery shoes. Even her brother, who was often too cool for school, broke into a silly grin and did a little dance. They laughed and they hugged, and Nancy felt the tight knot in her chest loosen a bit. It didn't matter that her dress was ruined. What mattered was that she was surrounded by her family, her real family, the ones who loved her, who accepted her for the fancy pants princess that she was, even if she didn't have a fancy dress to wear. From that day on, Nancy continued to sprinkle fanciness into her life. She danced in the rain, made up silly songs, and laughed a lot. She learned that being fancy wasn't about the clothes or the glitter, but about having fun and sharing joy with the people she loved. And that, my friends, is what made Nancy's life truly magnificent.